Distinguished gentleman from Maryland, a distinguished member of the Rules Committee, Mr. Raskin.
Gentleman from Maryland is recognized for 3 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Mr. Chairman, the January 6th insurrection against our Congress, our Constitution, and our election was one of the worst political crimes in American history. It interrupted the peaceful transfer of power. It injured and wounded, hospitalized more than 140 law enforcement officials who were punched, kicked, maced, spat upon, speared by Confederate battle flags, Donald Trump flags, American flags. They had eyes gouged. One lost several fingers. They turned the Capitol of the United States, they turned this chamber into a crime scene. The independent January 6th Commission legislation brought forth by Chairman Thompson, a Democrat, and Congressman Katko, a Republican, is bipartisan in composition. 5 Republicans and 5 Democrats. Equal subpoena power. It is nonpartisan in design and in function. Its whole purpose is to determine the events and the causes of those events on January 6th so we can prepare effectively to stop it from ever happening again to the people of America. The key precedents, the 9/11 Commission, which was critical for mobilizing public attention to the dangers of al-Qaeda and other foreign terror networks and helping us to rectify inadequacies in our security infrastructure and to prepare to defend our democracy. Today, the #1 security threat facing the American people is domestic violent extremism, and we saw what domestic violent extremism can do when it broke into our house on January 6th. According to Secretary of Homeland Security Alejandro Mayorkas, domestic violent extremism poses the most lethal and persistent terrorism-related threat to our country today. Abraham Lincoln made a beautiful speech that I recommend to all of my colleagues before they vote on this legislation today, the Lyceum Address, where he said, all of the armies of Europe, all of the armies of Africa and Asia could never conquer American democracy. But if there is a mortal threat to us, it will come from within, from dissension within and threats to the constitutional order from within. So we must pay attention to what happened on January 6th, and we must honor those brave men and women who fought for hours against medieval-style waves of violence raining down upon them on that day, and we must do honor to future generations of Americans to find out exactly what happened and why and how to stop it in the future. Let's pass this legislation today. I thank you, and I yield back.
Gentleman yields back his time. The gentleman from Oklahoma is recognized.
Madam Speaker, I continue to reserve.
Gentleman continues to reserve. The gentleman from Massachusetts is recognized.
I think we're ready to close. We'll let the gentleman use up his 17 minutes to close.
I'm certainly prepared to close whenever my friend would like.
Gentleman from Massachusetts reserves.
Madam Speaker, I yield
Gentleman from
myself the
Oklahoma
balance
is
of my time.
recognized.
Thank you very much.